Hello fellow booktubers, my name is Lauren and you're watching Dreams Books Courage. Today I'm filming in front of my TBR shelf because I'm going to be sharing with you what I plan on reading for the BookTube-A-Thon. For those of you who do not know, the BookTube-A-Thon is a reading marathon that lasts an entire week, and during that week you try to read as much as you can, and there are also reading challenges and video challenges that you can choose to participate in if you want to. I do try to participate in all of the reading and video challenges, so today I'm going to be sharing with you what I plan on reading for the reading challenges. So let's go ahead and get into them. So the first book that I want to mention is the one that I'm currently reading, because although I do plan on finishing it by the time that BookTube-A-Thon starts, if I don't, then this will be the first book that I read during the BookTube-A-Thon, and that is The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, which is the first book in a series of unfortunate events. If you guys have been keeping up with what I've been reading recently, I was reading a lot of books, but I just wasn't really in the mood to read any of them, so instead I just dropped all those books and I decided to pick this one up. So I'm trying to finish a lot of challenges with a small amount of books, so I actually have this book for 3 challenges. Or I have the second book in the series, which is The Reptile Room, that I will be reading for the first 3 challenges. I'm just not sure if I'll be done with this yet or if I won't, so we'll just have to see about that. But for now, I'm planning on reading The Reptile Room for the BookTube-A-Thon. So as I said, I plan on reading this book for 3 challenges. The first of those challenges is to read a book with a person on the cover, and as you can see, there are 4 people on this cover, so that definitely fulfills that. The next challenge that I'm going to try and finish this book with is finish a book in 1 day. I definitely do not know if that's going to happen whatsoever. This book is 190 pages long, which is not that bad at all, but I am a slow reader and I also have other things to do during the week besides just read. Although I definitely wish that I could just set aside the week and just read, that'd be so awesome, but I do have a job so I can't really do that. But I will be trying quite hard to finish this book in 1 day. We'll just have to see if that happens or not. It will definitely be a challenge for me, but I do think I can do it if I just set aside the time to do it and I really just focus on this book. And the third challenge that I plan on completing with this book is to read a book completely outdoors, which again is going to be quite hard for me to do, so we'll just have to see if that happens or not. But I do have a patio, so it wouldn't be too horrible for me to just be outside and read outdoors. I usually read outdoors at least an hour a day anyway, so it wouldn't be a huge change for me, but I know it'll be a lot of hours spent outdoors in the hot Texas heat. So we'll just have to see if those challenges happen with this novel or not, but I'm really hoping that I can do it. And even if I don't finish this book in a day, I definitely think that I could read all of it outdoors, but we'll just see what type of reading mood I'm in next week. I am definitely looking forward to picking this book up. For those of you who do not know what A Series of Unfortunate Events is about, it's about the Baudelaire children, who at the very beginning of the first novel, they learn that their parents have died tragically in a house fire, and so they're sent to live with a relative who is Count Olaf, and he's such an evil man. He's so horrible to them, and just a lot of tragic and horrible things happen to them throughout the series, as you can tell by the title of this series. But it is a great series with great writing, and I do really enjoy the humor. So right now I'm trying to read the first 4 books so then I can watch all of the first season of the A Series of Unfortunate Events show on Netflix. And then I'll read the next 4 whenever the next season comes out, and so on. This series is a reread for me, but the first time I read it was in like elementary school, so I've definitely forgotten a lot from this series, and I'm so happy to be rereading it. And these books definitely keep you interested, so it shouldn't be too hard for me to fly through the series. The first novel that I plan to read for the BookTube-A-Thon is Looking for Alaska by John Green, and as you will quickly realize, most of the books in my TBR are actually rereads for me. If you didn't already know, John Green is coming out with a new book in October called Turtles All the Way Down, and so I want to read all the novels that he's written, excluding the works that he has co-written, so I won't be reading like Will Grayson or any of his anthologies, but I still have quite a bit to read before the month of October comes. Plus, I'm using this book to fulfill 3 of the reading challenges for the BookTube-A-Thon, and the first of those challenges is to read a hyped book. This book has definitely been very hyped, plus as you can see it won the Prince Award as well, so it's also critically acclaimed. Really, every one of John Green's books is hyped right now, and I personally think his novels deserve it, so I definitely don't mind that I'm reading this hyped book. And then the next challenge that I plan on reading this book for is to read about a character who is very different from you. The character of Miles is definitely very different from me. For one thing, he's a teenager and I'm technically an adult since I'm 20 years old, but also he's kind of a bad kid and he's at boarding school and I just went to public school. But Miles smokes and drinks and does stuff like that, and I didn't do that in high school. So we definitely come from 2 very different backgrounds, and I do really enjoy reading about his story because it is so different from me. And the other challenge that this novel completes is to read a book that you bought because of the cover, and I personally love this cover so much. I actually had a different edition of Looking for Alaska, but I ended up caving and buying this new 10th anniversary edition cover because I love how minimalistic this one looks, and it also kind of looks similar to The Fault in Our Stars as well, which is my favorite book of all time, and it looks beautiful without its jacket on as well. It's just so pretty and I love this book so much. I just had to buy it because of the cover. Plus, this also comes with some special content as well that I may or may not read during the BookTube-A-Thon, but I definitely plan on reading all of the commentary and stuff afterwards, since John Green is my favorite author. The novel itself is 275 pages, but with the commentary and everything else that's included, it's a total of 350 pages. So it's definitely quite a bit of a chunk. It's not like a huge book, but it's a pretty big novel to tackle in a week, especially for a slow reader like myself. So we'll just have to see what happens with this one. So as I said before, Miles goes to boarding school, and at this boarding school, Miles meets Alaska, who's this beautiful girl, and Miles is a hopeless romantic, so of course he falls in love with her. And that's all I really want to tell you about this, because there is just so much to this novel. It's a lot darker than you think it would be, especially since it involves teenagers, but it really is a great read, and it definitely deals with a lot darker topics than most YA novels will touch. So I really love this novel, and although it's 10 years old, I still think it's a really powerful novel, and I'm really looking forward to rereading it. So there are a total of 7 reading challenges, and I have already covered the first 6 with these 2 novels, but the 7th challenge will be a lot harder to complete because it is read a total of 7 books, and I do not know if I'm going to be able to do that whatsoever. I don't even know if I'll be able to finish one novel because I just haven't been reading very much in the past few months, but in case I do finish those first 2 novels, I do have 5 others that I plan on reading. So in order of when I would be reading them, the 3rd novel that I would pick up is the 3rd novel in a series of unfortunate events, which is The Wide Window by Lemony Snicket, and I can't really talk much about this one since of course it's the 3rd in the series and I'd be spoiling a lot from the first 2, but again, I'm really looking forward to rereading this. And then we have another John Green novel, which is An Abundance of Katherines, and this one is all about this guy named Colin who has dated a total of 19 girls named Katherine. And in this novel, he goes on a road trip with his best friend, and just a lot of hijinks ensue. This is probably my least favorite of John Green's novels, but that's not really saying much since I love all of them so much. I still really enjoyed this novel, it's just not as exciting to me, but I am very excited to reread this one. And then the 5th book that I would pick up is the 4th book in a series of unfortunate events, which is The Miserable Mill by Lemony Snicket. Again, I can't give very much information about this, but this is the last in the series that I plan on picking up anytime soon, until the next season of the Netflix series comes out, so I'm really excited about how they conclude this novel within the Netflix series as well. These novels are quick reads, so I am hoping that maybe I can get to them, and if I manage to finish the first 5 novels, which sounds like a bit of a stretch right now, then I plan on picking up Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, which is a novel that I've had for quite a few years and I wanted to pick up forever, so maybe I'll finally get the chance to pick this one up. But I do have a lot of novels to finish before I get to this one, and this is quite a big novel with some small fonts, so we'll just have to see if that happens. For those of you who do not know, this novel is about a world in which people don't really go outside anymore because the atmosphere is just so horrible and just outside is basically a terrible place. And so they basically live a lot of their lives through virtual reality. And when the creator of the virtual reality died, he actually left behind some clues to a huge treasure. And so all I know is that the main character actually finds the first clue, and it kind of sends everyone on this huge race to figure out the huge mystery and win the prize at the end. So I am really excited about this one because it kind of relates to video games, and I've been playing a lot of video games, so I just feel like it's right for me to read this one right now. But we'll just have to see if I can get to it during the BookTube-A-Thon. And the 7th and final novel that I have to read during the BookTube-A-Thon is Paper Towns by John Green, which would be another reread for me. The only novel that won't be is Ready Player One. I don't know why, but I have been quite in the mood to reread a lot of my favorite novels, and I'm very excited about this one as well. This would actually be my 3rd time reading Paper Towns, which is probably like my 2nd favorite John Green book right now. In this novel, we again follow another hopeless romantic, and whenever the girl of his dreams goes missing, him and his friends go on this wild chase to find her, which also includes a road trip aspect, which is so much fun. I'm excited to be reading this book both for the BookTube-A-Thon and also just for summer in general, because I do really enjoy this novel and I think it's perfect for the summertime, and if I'm able to get to this one, it will be a great novel to finish out the BookTube-A-Thon with. Thank you guys so much for watching my BookTube-A-Thon TBR. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I'll leave a link to my Twitter down below because I'm running a poll over there about how often you want me to post videos during the actual BookTube-A-Thon, so please help me out and enter that poll because I definitely want to know how many videos you want to see by me during the BookTube-A-Thon. I would love to know down below what you're reading for BookTube-A-Thon, and I'm definitely looking forward to it because the first video that I ever made on this channel was actually a BookTube-A-Thon TBR video, and I just really love participating in BookTube-A-Thon, and I hope you will too. And if you want any additional information about BookTube-A-Thon, then I will leave a link for that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and now I'm gonna go get back to reading.